स्टुडंट्स, हाऊ आर यू? तुम्ही सगळे तब्येतीची काळजी घेतच असाल. कोविड-19 अर्थात करोना व्हायरस हा मागच्या जवळजवळ 7 महिन्यापासून आपल्या सगळ्यांना त्रास देतो आहे. संपूर्ण जगातील मानवजात त्याच्यामुळे धोक्यात आलेली आहे आणि अशा काळामध्ये तुम्ही इयत्ता 12वीच्या बोर्डाची परीक्षा आणि त्यासाठीची तयारी नक्कीच करत असाल. कारण करोना हा काही काळासाठी आहे. तो आयुष्यभर आपल्यामध्ये राहू शकत नाही. किंबहुना आपण त्याला कधी ना कधी पराजित करू आणि पुन्हा एकदा आपलं जीवन आपण सर्वसामान्यपणे जगू ही खात्री मला आहे. मित्रांनो, आताच्या काळामध्ये तुम्हाला डोळ्यासमोर फेब्रुवारी 2021 बोर्डाची परीक्षा ही ठेवायची आहे आणि त्या दृष्टिकोनातनं तुम्हाला तयारी पण करायची आहे. अर्थातच सरकारकडनं, शिक्षण खात्याकडनं आणि आपल्या महाराष्ट्र बोर्डाकडनं बदललेल्या परिस्थितीचा विचार करून तुमच्या परीक्षेसाठी आपल्या टेक्स्टबुकमधला, अभ्यासक्रमामधला काही भाग कमी करून तो तुम्हाला कमी झालेला भाग परीक्षेसाठी विचारला जाणार नाही आणि त्या दृष्टिकोनातनं थोडासा अभ्यास तुम्हाला कमी करायचा आहे. पण अर्थात कमी जरी करायचा असला तरी बोर्डाची परीक्षा आहे, आपलं आयुष्य त्या परीक्षेवर डिपेंड असणार आहे. त्या दृष्टिकोनातनं तुम्ही जो अभ्यास त्या ठिकाणी करायचा आहे तो करणारच हा आत्मविश्वास मला आहे. माझ्याकडून प्राध्यापक आनंद जोशी, मसगाव महाविद्यालय कनिष्ठ विभागाकडून तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना मनपूर्वक शुभेच्छा. मित्रांनो, आज आपण इयत्ता 12वीचं चॅप्टर नंबर 6 अर्थातच प्लांट वॉटर रिलेशन, जे अतिशय महत्त्वाचं चॅप्टर आहे, त्या संदर्भामध्ये चर्चा करणार आहोत. अर्थातच ह्या चॅप्टरवर तुम्हाला बोर्ड एक्झामसाठी काही सिलेबस कमी केलेला आहे आणि मग कमी केलेला सिलेबस सोडला तर जे काही टॉपिक्स आपल्याला कंप्लीट करायचे आहे त्याच्यासाठी आपण सुरुवात करू. चॅप्टर नंबर 6 प्लांट वॉटर रिलेशनशिप. Now it is always a great question in front of us that these plants, all the organisms that belongs to kingdom Plantae, from where they get their food material as well as the other necessities. And for that purpose we must say that the plants, they obtain variety of substances like water, minerals, nutrients, food and gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide from their immediate surrounding, that is from the atmosphere. Now actually the productivity in plant, it is mainly affected by the non-availability of water, because if we consider the other requirements, basically in plus or minus manner they are available to the plants, but whenever it comes to the water, perhaps it is the most important requirement, and the productivity, the actual production of materials by the plant, it directly depends upon the water availability, and hence water is considered as elixir of life. Why? Because if you consider the kingdom Animalia, kingdom Plantae, whatever you consider a biological world, it is completely dependent on water. The beginning of life, beginning of biological world, it is from water, and obviously it has even today the most important component as far as biological world, and correctly this water is considered as elixir of life. Now water, it constitutes almost 90 to 95% of most plant cells and tissues. It is around 70-75% in case of animal, but the water content of plant body is more, and it is almost 90 to 95%. And therefore this water helps the cells to maintain turgidity as well as the living state of the cell. And if we consider the water, it has got certain properties, the biological, the physical and chemical properties, which are of great importance to the biological world. So let's see the properties of water. So let's study the properties of water. Now water is the liquid It is occurring in the liquid form at room temperature and is the best solvent for most of the chemical reaction, most of the solutes. In fact, we know at 4 degrees Celsius, the expansion of water molecule occur, volume increases, but below that, water changes the form and it is converted to ice, the solid form. Or even at 70 degrees Celsius, you can see the vaporization of water starts. So, basically, water occurs in three forms: the gaseous, vapors, the liquid, that normal water, and even it is solid in the form of ice. But still, it is the best solvent for most of the chemical reaction as well as solutes. Secondly, it is the inert, inorganic compound with normal or neutral pH when it is in pure form. Mind it well, when water is in the most purest form, it shows the neutral pH, that is around 7. And it is the inorganic compound which is not having any chemical affinity. So it is an inert inorganic compound with neutral pH when it is in the pure form. Due to this, water is the best transporting medium for the dissolved minerals as well as food molecule in the plant body. It is the best aqueous medium for all the biological reaction occurring in the cell, because all the biological material, they are easily water soluble, and when they are soluble in water, obviously the reactivity of such substances increases. Now, water is essential raw material for photosynthesis, because we know the process of photosynthesis, it involves fixation of carbon dioxide, but for the fixation of carbon dioxide, reduction is necessary, and for reduction of carbon dioxide to form organic compound carbohydrates, the hydrogen, the reducing agent, is provided by water, and that's why water is acting as a raw material, essential raw material for the process of photosynthesis. Secondly, we say that water has high specific heat, high heat of vaporization and high heat of fusion. Now, these are the chemical properties where the amount of energy required by a substance to increase its weight or temperature by 1 degree Celsius, that is called as specific heat. And water has got high specific heat. Secondly, it has got high heat of vaporization. The amount of energy which is required by substance to get converted into vapor, that is called as heat of vaporization, and for water again it is very high. And high heat of fusion, formation of water, that is from hydrogen and oxygen, that heat of fusion is also high for water. Now, due to this, water acts as thermal buffer. That means it does not allow change in the temperature of a living cell, because thermal buffer or heat buffer, when water is present in the cell, automatically that cell will not change its temperature normally in normal zone of, we can say, temperature. So it is very important for biological processes. Now, these various properties are due to the hydrogen bonds between the water molecule. Now, here you can see a water molecule is shown, and that water molecule, obviously chemically it is H2O, that consists of 2 hydrogen atom and 1 oxygen atom, which are forming a triangular structure. Now, that oxygen which occupies the central position and 2 hydrogen, they are forming the angle, and the angle of water, or the angle of water molecule, it is around 104.5 degrees. And the hydrogen, they will carry partial positive charge, whereas oxygen will carry partial negative charge. So it is a dipolar molecule, and due to dipolar nature of water, it is very easily involved in the reactions with the other substances also. Friends, water additionally show a very important property, that water molecule has good adhesive and cohesive properties, or forces of attraction. The question arises, what is adhesion? Adhesion means attraction between the same molecule, and cohesion means attraction between the opposite molecule. Now, water attraction is more between two molecules, as well as water has got additional attraction force between the opposite molecules, which are very easily getting dissolved in it. Then due to high surface tension and high adhesive and cohesive forces, it can be easily rising in the capillary. We call it as an capillary action. Now due to these three factors, capillary action occurs. And mind it well, it is the surface tension, it is the high adhesive nature between two water molecules. The attraction is there, that is called as adhesive force, and the attraction between the materials of capillary and the water molecule, that is called as cohesive force. Now it is therefore a significant molecule that connect physical world with the biological world. So very important property, we are saying that water is acting as a connecting link between physical world, non-living world, and the biological processes too. Then we'll go for the water absorbing organ, roots. Now basically you know the plant body, particularly the higher plant body, angiosperm and gymnospermic plant body, they are gifted with true roots, true stem and true leaves. And there the roots are acting as water as well as mineral absorbing organ. Additionally, they support, anchor the plant body within the soil. But the major role, it is in the absorption of water, and that is in the form of root. Now basically root is the main organ of water and mineral absorption, as we know. In terrestrial plants, the plants absorb water in the form of liquid from the soil. However, epiphytic plants like orchid that grow on the other plant, they absorb water vapor from the air with the help of highly specific epiphytic roots having spatial tissue, that is called as velamen tissue. Mind it well, velamen tissue is a spongy tissue that is responsible for absorbing water moisture from the surrounding air and providing that to the plant body. Now here you can see the velamen tissue or the roots, epiphytic roots of orchid. Now these are the orchid plants, and these orchid plants, you can see they are growing on a bark, they are growing on a branch of the other tree. And when they are growing on the other tree, obviously they are in air. And these highly specific epiphytic root, they hang from the bark, from the branch into the air, and there you can see this green color structure. They contain the velamen tissue, the spongy tissue, and it is capable of absorbing the water moisture and providing that to the stem, leaves, and the remaining parts of the plant body. Now if you observe a typical root, it is divisible into four different regions, and these four regions, they include region of absorption, then epidermal layer or epidermal cell, epiblema cells that form unicellular hair-like structures or extension that are called as root hairs. But basically the root as an organ, it consists of root cap, then region of meristematic activity where the growth is taking place, then a small region is the region of root hair, and then it will have region of maturation. Now this root hair region, it is the main important water absorbing part because it is gifted with huge number of root hairs that are helpful for absorption of water from the soil. Now if we see the structure of root hair in angiospermic plant, that root hair, it is a cytoplasmic extension or prolongation, you can say, of epiblema cells that are present in the region of absorption. Now each root hair, it may be approximately 1 to 10 millimeters long and tube-like structures. They are short-lived and they are representing colorless, unbranched and very short-lived, as they are made up of epiderma or they are made up of epimeral layer. They live for a certain duration and then they become dead. And very importantly, they are highly delicate, very smooth in nature. Now it has got a very large central vacuole which is surrounded by a thin film of cytoplasm, plasma membrane, cell wall, and this cell wall is basically double layer, two. Now the outer layer of cell wall is composed of chemicals that are called as pectins, and the inner layer, it is made up of cellulose. Now mind it well, the slippery nature of the root hair, it is because of the pectin. However, the inner layer, it is made up of cellulose. Cell wall of these root hair, it is freely permeable, but plasma membrane, we know it is selectively permeable. That means the cell wall, it allows the absorption freely without any stoppage. but the plasma membrane is selectively permeable. That means it allows entry of certain material within the cell wall and does not allow the entry of other material within the cell wall. When such a situation is there, it is called as semi-permeable. Friends, then we'll discuss what kind of water is available to the root for absorption, because we know water available to the root, it is always from the soil, but soil, it contains a variety of waters. Here you can see the plant absorbs water from the rhizosphere. Rhizo stand for root and sphere, that stand for region, the microenvironment surrounding the root. Immediate soil particle surrounding the root, they are called as rhizosphere. Now water present in the soil, it occurs as gravitational water, we call it as free water, hygroscopic water which is combined with some materials, combined water in the form of chemical compounds, and even the capillary water. Now basically water percolates deep down into the soil due to the gravitational force, and such type of water which simply move down into the soil and it is going down in the form of gravity, it is called as gravitational water. Now this gravitational water, if we see, it is not available for the plants for absorption because it is going beyond the region of absorption, and that's why it is not available. Very fine soil particle, they imbibe water and adsorb the water and hold it. Now we know there are certain compounds, they are showing imbibition, that is absorption of water without forming solution. Now that fine soil particle, they imbibe and absorb water and hold it. Now this water is called as hygroscopic water. Now you might have seen jelly-like material. Now these are jelly-like material, they are called as hygroscopic. Or even in the rainy season, you might be coming across the salt which absorb water from the surrounding and become wet. Now that is again the hygroscopic nature of, we can say, salts, we can say certain chemical compound, and that water which is involved in the compound without forming solution, that is called as hygroscopic water. Now roots are unable to absorb them because it is tightly bound onto the substances, so it cannot be absorbed by the root. Then comes the water which is present in the form of hydrates or hydrated oxides of silicon or aluminium. Now you might be knowing even the copper sulfate. Now the formula of copper sulfate we write like this: CuSO4 dot 12H2. Now that 12H2, it is the crystalline water, it is the combined water, and that combined water, it may be in the form of salts of silicon, aluminium, copper, iron, and this combined water is again not available for the plants for absorption. So if we see the water which is available for absorption, it is present in the form of pores, it is in the form of capillaries. Now that water which is locked within the two molecules or two particles of soil which hold the water by capillary action, it is called as capillary water, and only this capillary water is available for absorption by the plant. Now here you can see in the diagram hygroscopic water I have shown, and it is not available. Then capillary water which is present in the capillaries, and then it is available. And the third one, it is the gravitational water which moves down, and it is again not available for root for absorption. So friends, that is the story of chapter number 6, plant water relation. Only because of the recent adjustment with the COVID-19, most of the topic has been deleted from this chapter, and only a small portion, in fact 3 small topics, remain in this chapter. And today we have gone through these 3 topics, and I am hoping that you will understand all the 3 topics and prepare it for the board examination. मित्रांनो, छोटासा व्हिडिओ आहे, परंतु चॅप्टर नंबर 6 प्लांट वॉटर रिलेशनशिप याच्यामधनं आपण शिकत आहोत, आणि एवढाच पोर्शन फक्त तुम्हाला बोर्डाच्या परीक्षेला तयार करायचा आहे. मला आनंद आहे की आपण पुन्हा एकदा भेटलो, आणि लवकरच आपण ऑफलाईन सुद्धा भेटू. आपला MGV पॅटर्न आपण सुरू करू, आणि मग उरलेले चॅप्टर जे आहेत ती मी वेगवेगळ्या पद्धतीने वेगवेगळ्या व्हिडिओच्या माध्यमातून तुमच्यापर्यंत पोहोचवण्याचा प्रयत्न करणार आहे. तोपर्यंत तुमच्या सगळ्यांचे आभार मानतो. धन्यवाद.